a man standing there in all his magnificence.
A little bit like Johnny Carson walking out.
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, woo, can dance all night long. I style, I profile, I can boogaloo, I can do whatever I have to do to be the man day in. Woo! And
greetings. Seamless Style presents Behind the Scenes. Today we're going to do a review of a brand new bourbon whiskey hitting the scene. It's a Kentucky whiskey. It's a Kentucky bourbon, pardon me. Well, as we all know, all bourbons are whiskeys. All whiskeys aren't necessarily bourbons. We'll get into that in another episode. I don't want to go into that right now. I want to focus on the task at hand, which is a review of Old Hillside Bourbon. This has a very special place in my heart, Old Hillside Bourbon. Reason being, the creators and owners of the company are black owned. Two, I went to school with these guys. It's three of them, if I'm not mistaken. One of them in particular, me and him were and are very cool. He's from the same neighborhood that I'm from, back home in Durham, North Carolina. He's homegrown to that neighborhood. I'm more of a plant. But we've always been cool. Me, his family, and our circle of childhood friends that we grew up with, teenagers, etc., on through our early adulthood. They were a couple years behind me. Hillside High School. There were nine predominantly black high schools in the state of North Carolina, and Hillside High School was the oldest, or is the oldest. It's still a predominantly black high school. They moved several years ago to a newer location, but the location where when I went to school was 1900 Concord Street. And my junior and senior year, we were the only school in the state, and I'm not going to look it up right now, but maybe even in the country, that was 100% black as far as the student body. From 9th grade all the way through 12th, 100% black. No other ethnic or racial groups went to that school at that time. So it's a pretty big deal. Hillside does have some very famous graduates from its school. Ernie Barnes, the world famous artist and painter. Shirley Caesar, the gospel superstar singer. Athletes such as Rodney Rogers, that played professional basketball, and John Lucas, who played and coached professional basketball, and not to mention yours truly. Hillside was a wonderful experience for me, and it always holds a place near and dear to my heart. And to see that some of the fellas went on to create a spirit that I'm going that they wanted me to actually review, I'm honored to review it. Now, with all that said, you know me, they know me well enough to know that I don't sugarcoat. I'm not going to, it's no preferential treatment, anything like that. If I don't like something, I speak on it. I have already tasted the whiskey, and and I'm gonna give my opinion shortly. The label is eye-catching. Old Hillside written here. Got Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This is because it's not even available in anywhere you get your bourbon. This label may change up some, I'm thinking, because, for example, this tells how many months it was distilled. So 43 months is almost 4 years, but I think that they are for the most part, they're going for 4 years per barrel. It is a single barrel, distilled and aged in Kentucky. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but behind the old Hillside Bourbon Whiskey logo is actually my school, my alma mater, Old Hillside High School. That's an angle from the side where the cafeteria was. And this side is usually where all the fights took place after school, right around here. But yeah, that's pretty freaking cool. So I definitely like the packaging. The packaging is pretty dope. They got a nice logo here. They got a nice sigil with the crest and the griffin and the man on horseback. I really like that. Their message is here. Yeah, it's pretty. The packaging is pretty cool. I tend to like my bourbon neat. All right. Let's see what the nose tells me. Well, just like the look of the bourbon, it's definitely got heavy caramel notes. I can definitely smell the oak. I like it. Smells good. Yes, yes, yes. I can taste the corn on the front end. There's a sweetness there though. Man, that tastes like apricots, maybe even plums. That rye hits on the back end. That's what's giving me the bourbon finish. But that sweetness with the corn is amazing. This is a winner. This is a winner right here for sure. I probably could pursue a career in being a whiskey or bourbon sommelier. My nose and my palate is pretty good when it comes to bourbon, and I've had Four Roses, which is good. Four Roses is good. I've also had Michener's 20. My uncle, God rest his soul, was a huge bourbon guy, bourbon and cigars. And every year on the 31st of December, for as long as I can remember, he would break open a bottle of Michener's 20. Now, as I became older and I was able to actually drink with him or whatever, the bourbon was good. I didn't have no complaints. I thought it was good. But come to find out the process behind Michener's 20-year aging, the fact that the cheapest bottle he ever was able to catch a hold to was about $800. Sometimes they went for $12. No cap. This ain't got nothing to do with friendship, nepotism, whatever you want to call it. This Old Hillside Bourbon competes. I'm just gonna say it. Old Hillside Bourbon can compete with Michener's 20. Alright? But see for yourself. When it drops, see for yourself. This is a great, great, great bourbon. I love the taste. I love the strength of the alcohol without being too alcoholic. Again, that oak. Oh man, that smells so good. Smells good, tastes good. I mean, when you combine this beautiful bourbon with my cashmere sweater and my Supreme Cashmere cologne that I'm wearing, man, this whole area right here just reeks of manhood. Like, I need my beard to be twice as full at this point, just because of this and everything else going on in my cipher. I'm just saying. That's good stuff there, buddy. Old Hillside Bourbon. There will be links to the Old Hillside Bourbon Company's Instagram page. I am going to post this on all my social media platforms, as well as a seamless style behind the scenes episode on my YouTube. Just make sure that every one of you acknowledges that you heard it from me first, how amazingly good this bourbon is. And this is their first batch. They're only going to get better. So salute Durham, salute the original Hillside, salute Old Hillside Bourbon. You boys did it. You boys did it, and I'm proud of you. Again, no cap, no nepotism. I'm just telling it like it is. As far as packaging, I will give it 4 Ric Flairs. As far as pricing, I'm gonna give it 4 Ric Flairs, because the price point is supposed to hit somewhere between 40 and 50, and I think over time a bottle of Old Hillside Bourbon is going to be more than $40 or $50 if this taste is any indication. And then as far as the taste, I give it 5 Rics. Woo! Definitely give it 5 Rics. Yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend. I will keep you guys posted as far as when Old Hillside Bourbon Company releases this to the masses. But you definitely, if you love bourbon, if you love cigars, if you love being a man, this is the route you want to be looking at once it drops, okay? You heard it here first. Mr. Parker's telling you, Old Hillside Bourbon is legit. All right? Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend. Y'all have a good one.